I think we have to remember 5% growth in China represents nearly 35% of global economic growth. So whatever it is very significant. And obviously we are optimistic that we can reach that 5% and contribute to a significant economic growth internationally. But I think there are challenges ahead. I mean, the record export figures has its own reasons. I think the first 100 days of the new U.S. administration will be key in pointing some of the directions, and also the stimulus that has been put in place in the last couple of months. Obviously, the effect of those stimulus packages will take time to come out. But I think the elephant in the room is what direction that Washington is coming out, not just on China, but globally. China itself is actually fairly robust. We have very clear messages from Beijing. They know what they're doing, and they know how to respond to possible scenarios. But the rest of the world is slightly more fragile, and I think we have to watch out.
As we watch next Monday on the United States, January the 20th, and the inauguration of Donald Trump as the next president, China is sending an envoy to attend the inauguration. But we've also heard from Trump that he is planning tariffs and policy on day one. How do you expect Sino-U.S. relations to look?
I think, quite frankly, right now we can only say that the jury is still out. It will be unpredictable. It could be transactional. It could be a lot more strategically selective. And I think China and other economies' response could be transactional, selective, and strategic as well. So I think it will play out a little bit in the first 100 days. My hope is we have enough challenges around the world, including what's just happened in California. So there are some really immediate crises that world leaders need to sit down and try to sort out. And I think eventually what happens around the world, including the conflicts, the climate crisis, and also the global public debt crisis, will make people come back from the extreme of the pendulum, more back in the middle. And I think a lot of the resources around the world has been sucked up on defense and national security, which is quite important, but not at the expenses of healthcare, education, R&D, and social community services. So these are things that we need to bring back on the table and have a reasonable and rational discussion about it.
Do you expect multilateralism to be able to continue to exist, or do you see more protectionism coming?
I think we will have a bit of disruption, but after a bit of disruption, I hope not destruction, disruption, and we may come to better senses. And for example, there'll be so much infrastructural investment that will be necessary to rebuild what has been destroyed in California. And we need a global supply chain to help them to get back on its feet. So the decoupling, the disruption in the global supply chain, all that will happen. But I think there's a good chance that we will get back to more collaboration afterwards.